AskReddit by Lacrimosa. How old are you and what is your biggest fear? 37. My biggest fear is developing Alzheimer's. The thought of slowly losing myself and becoming some husk of a human and having no way of stopping it is terrifying. Also forgetting your life. You lived all this time and you just forget at the end. 65. I'm afraid of nursing homes, with good reason. 63 here. I am my wife's sole care provider after her stroke. I fear dying before her for this very reason. 64. Bad things happening to my grandchildren. Before you had grandkids, was it the fear of bad things happening to your kids? 65 And my only fear is becoming demented or some other disease that makes me mentally incapacitated and a burden for my loved ones. I'm not afraid of dying, but I am afraid of becoming a burden while still alive. I'm 37. I had some issues for a few years. My brain was being crushed inside my skull by cerebral spinal fluid and I was catatonic. My family had to take care of me. I was not well. The having to be cared for wasn't the worst part. 35, 36. I legit did lose a year around that same time. Me, I'm 35. Wife, honey, you're 36. Me, trying to become a world famous mathematician. WTF question mark? I'm 21 and I'm afraid to not succeed in life. I'm 37, and same. My definition of success has changed as I've gotten older, and it's only very recently that I realized I was meeting that. Keep working and making good decisions and you'll get there eventually. That I will be tortured for info I don't have. I'm 56. New fear unlocked. 57. Widowed 2 years ago. Fear, never feeling whole again. I hope with all my heart for you to feel better. 516. Vampire hunters. Vampire or weasel? Or vampiric weasel? There goes any chance of me sleeping tonight. 50. Cancer. Cancer is terrifying at 50. At least we are in an age of huge progress with developing therapies. 55. Loss of my wife or kids. Random, but I feel like the fear of having my favorite person ever die is holding me back from being comfortable in relationships. There's always that little nagging in the back of your head being miserable as if it already happened, just dreading it, or is that just me lol? I'm 43 and my biggest fear is my husband dying before me. I'm 38 and share the same fear. But on the other hand, I can't bear the thought of him dying alone without me there to take care of him. Ugh. Either way, it's heartbreaking to think about. 48 And my biggest fear is spending the rest of my life alone. Everyone deserves that beautiful love story and I'm still waiting for mine. So far all of mine have been horror novels or mysteries. I just got out of a horrifically abusive relationship, not my first, unfortunately, and somehow that nightmare snapped me out of my obsessive need to experience love. If it happens, cool. It'd be a little sad if I never experience real love in my lifetime, but I am totally fine with never experiencing an abusive relationship again. My freedom is worth more to me than my need to be loved. I'm sure one day I can love myself enough to say I experienced it, and that's all I need, really. For a long time, being loved was at the forefront of my mind. Now I have so much more room to focus on fulfilling myself. I hope you can experience the same shift in perspective as I did. 25. Pregnancy. 37 and same, but mostly because I live in Texas and I'm hyper aware of how many things could go wrong. It's 2024 and there's a real possibility I'd have to choose between prison or death because my body couldn't carry a wanted pregnancy to term. I'm 18 and my biggest fear is never allowing myself to live my life. Yet here you are, alive, living your life away. 29 and 30. 30s was my best decade by far. I got married, got sober, had a baby, and got super into birdwatching. It's also the beginning of your Jaff era. You no longer care as much about impressing people. You just get to be you. The only thing that kind of sucks is acne and wrinkles at the same time. 27. Turning out like my father. 19. My biggest fear was my house being robbed, and it came true September last year, and it still burns inside my mind. I just hate the idea that someone can break into your house and take all your shit and the law won't do anything about it. And if you lay a finger on them, suddenly you're in the wrong. I now carry a 20,000 lumen flashlight which I keep in a holster. If someone tries to come up with a knife, I'm gonna shine it in their eyes and run away. I sympathize. I had some crackheads cut through the wall of my bedroom closet from a utility room and steal everything I owned of any value. Thank God it happened when I was in my early 20s, and that was basically just a TV and an box. It was so frustrating when the cops told me they knew who did it, but the prosecutor didn't think they had enough evidence to charge him. 24 and my biggest fear is annoying the people I try to have a connection with. I'm scared they don't want to be around me. It's not a rational fear, I know. Good ol' anxiety. Fucking sucks. 63. Not outliving my wife. I am her sole care provider after her stroke. You're a lovely human. 38. Any debilitating disease. 22. Developing Alzheimer's. I lived with and was very close with my grandmother when she developed it. It was brutal. 51 and Alzheimer's. Hopefully one of the vaccines currently in trials works out. Same. I'm now older, 60, than my father was when he died of early onset. He was diagnosed at 54, but NQR for a couple years beforehand. Died at 59. Looked like 89. And as of 5 minutes ago, today would have been his 90th birthday. Happy birthday in heaven, dearest daddy. I love you and miss you always. I only talk about this with family and very close friends, and Anon here on Reddit. I don't want insurance companies to know. I also will never get a DNA test done for the same reason. Plus I don't want to know if I have the bad genes. Live life to the fullest each day is my motto. I will be 80 in September. Last January, we celebrated our 60th wedding anniversary. I am very aware of how precious he is to me, and that time is not forever. That said, we have a relationship filled with light and laughter. Deleted. I wanted to say a joke, but then I realized I'd be banned for another 3 days.